Welcome back to the Donaldson Cross Country Championship. We move on to Class A, and Eston was dominated by Evan Hutchison and Donnie Stassen, the pair finishing first in their brand new motorized Bat 5er.
Clint Gibson and Gary Campbell from Dirt Sport Components are second overall after managing a fifth place in KZN.
Third in the standings, a very impressive father and son pair of Quinton and Cully Sugarbelt from Elegant Fuel.
They came third in the race but are fourth overall, the Harpers Nick and Ryan from Motorite.
While they failed to finish the race, the other Sugarbelt pair of Hammond and Vickard from Elegant Fuel are fifth in the championship.
Local boys Daniel Brooks and Gavin Gray of Decatur's Properties just missed out on a podium spot, but they're sixth for the season. Hutchison and Stassen lead the way on 55 points, just 4 ahead of the KZN pair of Gibson and Campbell, while Quinton and Cully Sugarbelt are 10 adrift of the leaders, the Elegant Fuel pair capturing second place in the third round.
It was a good result for us. I think our sponsors are really happy. I mean, Elegant Fuel have been supporting us for the last couple of years, and finally we're getting some results. It's good for the championship. We had a good run last time out, and we're building up points slowly towards the end of the year.
The Toyota dealer Sugarbelt 400 was again organised by the Natal Off-Road Motor Club, which celebrates their 30th anniversary this year. The first race took place way back in 1983, and they've gone from strength to strength ever since. It's been 3 years since the championship has taken place at Eston. It was run in the Dundee area in 2011 and moved to Richmond last year.
Dave, you must be phenomenally proud of the fact that this is back at Eston.
Yeah, I am. You know, when it disappeared for a couple of years, it was a bit of a sore point, but you know, having it back is great. It's good for the community, and it has been for years and years and years, and a lot of benefits from it. Puts Eston on the map, which is a great thing, and well, we like it to carry on for as long as possible, hopefully. Yeah.
And tell us about motor racing and the community. I mean, it's got a strong footing here.
Yeah, you know, there was a race organised in the Middle Over area in 1983, and a couple of us got involved in it, and it grew from there. There were quite a lot of people involved locally, competing and involved with all the organising and route finding, and but some time ago it became an even bigger thing, and we've really sort of put all we could into it over the years.
Previously, the NORMC National was run as the Trans-Tonga Land in Mkuzi, but proved to be a logistical nightmare organising the race as it was too far away. So it was moved to Eston, where it incorporated both the Eston and Mid-Illovo areas. It has always been based at the Beaumont Eston Farmers Club. When it first started, there were a number of local farmers who competed, but most of these have moved on. A few sons, the next generation, still compete though. Over the years, the race has injected millions into the area. As was stated by a prominent farmer, Eston was put on the map by the Sugarbelt race. And now to the KZN Regional Championship. All these competitors are from KwaZulu-Natal and have things slightly easier in that they do half the race that the national teams do.
Unless they want to compete in the national event, meaning their time after the first slip is registered for the regionals and they carry on to complete the rest. One of those doing both is John Thompson.
John, excited for Eston?
Yeah, no, very much so. We're waiting for this. So this is obviously our Natal event. So there's a lot of guys that are keen to come and show the national guys where they can land up, especially after prologue.
Many eyes will be on Thompson, but there are plenty of other locals who will be competitive.
The guys are everybody's fast. The top guys, they're all fast. Doesn't matter what conditions they race in, they're all going to be fast.
That said, I mean, it is home advantage, but I've chatted to quite a few guys who've got home advantage.
Yeah, there's a lot of us that race over here. You know, Natal, there's quite a few of us that race. I mean, one of our regional rounds is around here. But I mean, we've raced here for 20 years on bikes and that. So racing sugarcane and timber, it's the same. So it's good. It's the same for everybody.
Obviously, you know, the area, what do you make of the weather?
You know, this area has always been, when it rains, it leaves a lot of wet areas and a lot of slimy, snotty stuff. So, yeah, we just got to tap off the throttle a little bit and hope for the best.
How's the car performing?
It's unbelievable. You know, it's always, and this car's won Eston a couple of times, so we'll see.
These guys might only compete in the KZN Regional Championship, but their vehicles are as well turned out and mechanically sound as those of Big Brother Nationals. The competitiveness between teams is equally stern, with every second counting.
Among those doing both, the Dirt Sport Components team of Clint Gibson and Gary Campbell, they were magnificent in the prologue.
Reg Sutton and Warren Bierneke finished just after a minute behind them in their Zarko Magnum. I spoke to Reg before the start and he was massively excited, and it shows.
We saw Lance Trethui earlier, and no, that young man in his arms wasn't his co-driver, who in fact is Carl Wichmann. They were third quickest in the prologue.
Closely followed by Glenn Gibson and Clint Brook from Dirt Sport Components.
Rounding off the top five, Marcus Taylor, driving all on his lonesome in a JRE.
The spectacular course at Eston providing a variety of different challenges, such as this very wooded area, which some overcame a lot easier than others. None more so than Gibson and Campbell, getting the best time in the prologue, with Sutton and Bierneke second.
Conditions were tricky yesterday, that it was changing. You'd get on the gas and then all of a sudden you get into a section that's really slippery. So they were nervous at times, but I enjoyed the conditions.
I'm sure you did. A phenomenal effort yesterday.
We were very happy. I must be honest, I'm quite surprised because we came back in after the prologue and my navigator and myself, Warren, we felt like we could have probably done a little bit more. And then you look at other people's times, it was fairly competitive.
If Sutton thought day one was good, he had far better things coming his way on day two. He and Bierneke put on a superb performance in Loop 1.
The men they overtook, Trethui and Wichmann, were hot on their heels in their bat spec too. A magnificent chopper shot capturing the terrific surroundings they found themselves in. Although at that speed, it's hard to appreciate it all.
Arthur Barnes and Anthony Usher were going along well in their Bat Spec 0.
As were the Schroeders, Manfred and Justin, in their Zarko.
Thousands of spectators lined the route to cheer on the locals. No doubt they were impressed by Marcus Taylor taking on the elements by himself.
It certainly can't be easy. Daniel Brooks opting to have a co-driver in Gavin Gray, the pair coming in 6th after Loop 1. The sugarcane proved to be extremely tricky for the drivers, although Brooks seemed to have no trouble getting through it.
Coming in 7th after Loop 1, Don Thompson and Wayne Foster in their Zarko.
Another man opting to go it alone, Tony Ball in a JRE.
The two Bretts, Gurney and Hulls enjoyed a trouble-free run, impressive given the fact that they communicate via sign language.
Another single-seater, this mighty mag belonging to Ralph Voights.
It's exciting times ahead for the new Polaris vehicle, and Gareth Woolridge and Simon Harrison had a ball testing it out.
So, a great ride from Sutton and Bierneke, taking over first place from Trethui and Wichmann after the first 70 Ks, while Barnes and Usher were lying in third.
Nothing much changed for the front-runners in the first loop as Sutton and Bierneke continued to dominate, capturing the crown after leading for most of the race.
Barnes and Usher got one better than Loop 1 West, finishing second in their Bat Spec 0. On board now with Marcus Taylor, and after a great run in the first half of the race, he encountered this unfortunate situation. A bit of mayhem up ahead with one vehicle blocking his route. Nothing to do but push the car out of the way. Gently does it. Nope, not enough of an opening. A bit more should do though. There we go. That looks like a big enough gap. And off he goes. Straight into the dreaded sugarcane, and that's why it's dreaded. It may look harmless, but it certainly isn't. Taylor's race coming to an end.
There were no major hiccups for Brooks and Gavin Gray, the Ducatis Properties pair finishing third in their Bat Spec 4.
Unable to crack a spot in the podium and coming home in 4th place, Brett Gurney and Brett Holtz in their GMP Evo 4.
Ralph Voigt's proving that a navigator isn't a necessity. A 5th place finish for the mighty mag driver.
Finishing in 6th place, Clint Gibson and Gary Campbell in their Dirt Sport Components Porter. Of course, they had another whole race to go, as they were also competing in the National Championship.
A great run from Woolridge and Harrison in a brand new and very cost-effective Polaris. A 7th place finish for them. Watch out for this vehicle in the future.
Not far behind them in a Zarko Light, Rob Spencer and Kevin Taron.
Things certainly not looking pretty for the race co of Stephen Morrell and Bradley Matheson. Their race came to a rather ugly end.
Yeah, we broke the arm off, eh?
But you overshoot the corner, I guess.
Yeah. No brakes, eh? It was a bit of an overshoot, I think, yeah. And big rocks. Anyway, that's the end for us.
In complete contrast, Sutton and Bierneke had a fabulous end, finishing in a time of 3 hours, 24 minutes and 3 seconds. Just over 3.5 minutes ahead of Barnes and Asher, while Brooks and Gray were just over 10 minutes adrift.
In the Class P standings, as always, there's plenty expected from the Century Property Racing team of Colin Matthews and Alan Smith. They put in a great time of 56 minutes and 38 seconds during the prologue, one of the few cars that didn't reach the hour mark.
Unfortunately, they didn't experience the same fortunes during the race itself. After a coming together with Anthony Taylor, their Century CR3 never recovered. A broken track rod resulting in no steering and an end to their race.
Well, Kutsia and Sandra Labuskaghni had a superb race. They never got out of the car once, despite describing the conditions as very slippery and extremely tough.
It was also a good run for Jeremy Wood and Ashley Thorne in their Ace Code. Finishing 3rd amongst Class P, Nick Gosler and Andrew Massey in their Zarko Magnum.
Despite not making it to the finish, Matthews and Smith still lead the standings on 44 points, but they're just 4 points ahead of Thompson and Zermatten, who also failed to complete the race. The performance of the Labuskaghnis has shot them up to 3rd spot.
Argentina, Chile and Peru. 3 beautiful countries which feature spectacular yet unforgiving terrain. They also play host to the Dakar Rally, and the Donaldson Cross Country Championship offers competitors a glorious opportunity to get there.
Dakar Challenge is a great opportunity for the people that compete in our cross-country motor racing championship, and also for the bikers, because the organisers have recognised that there's good people here, good competitors, and you know, to win that challenge is a lot of money. It's I would say on the car side at least 250 to 300,000 rand towards your costs of going and racing. So I like the fact that it's international recognition, and I also like the fact that we're giving our competitors something to shoot for.
Well, lots to look forward to for those that harbour Dakar dreams. But first, the Donaldson Cross Country Championship crosses borders as we head to Kumakwane, Gaborone, Botswana for the Toyota Kalahari Botswana 1000 Desert Race, which takes place over 3 days from the 21st to the 23rd of June.
Last year, thousands of spectators witnessed the best of cross-country action. This year promises to be no different.
The Donaldson Cross Country Championship, brought to you by Donaldson Filtration Systems, a market leader in filtration solutions.